Right, so this is the short version of update day 4, 2015, December 9th. Felt great this morning, again, like yesterday. In between sleep and wake, I had these moments where I was just able to relax and feel somehow, I don't know if the word is in flow with myself, or, you know, like felt like I was, I don't know, resonating with myself, like when you've got two pieces of see-through paper and you've got the same drawing on them, and if they're not completely aligned, the picture's fuzzy or might not make any sense. You might not even know what it is, but when they're completely aligned, it's just perfectly neat, right? Well, that's the feeling that I had, and I had the feeling that I had the power to just completely align with that and feel absolutely marvelous. And so my meditation, which I do every morning, 30 minutes, I did it this morning, felt absolutely incredible, like it's never felt before. Um, Great feelings, reminiscent of the experience with Bufo Alvarius, flowing through my arms and legs, getting to that point of feeling great, even if it's just for a moment, very, very quickly, much quicker than before. Before it needed a lot of effort, needed at least 10 minutes, and the first few times I did it, I didn't get anywhere. Um, that and just understanding more and more things. One thing I'd like to say is that let's say, for example, you meet somebody who's never seen or eaten a strawberry, and you take a picture of a strawberry and say, well, look, this is how it tastes. It would be completely senseless and pointless, right? Well, that's what it is trying to talk about this experience. Even if I had a million words to describe the strawberry to somebody, say, oh, it's sweet, it's acid, it's this, and I had a million of them, I would never be able to give that, sends that taste of strawberry to that person. It's impossible. Why? Because that person hasn't experienced it. And it's exactly the same. If you met somebody who'd never lived and you tried to tell them, explain to them what it is to live and breathe and see and feel and laugh and cry and go dive underwater and feel gravity and all of these things, that person would simply not be able to understand. Well, I think our consciousness alone is that's what it is, and it is much more interesting possibly to just be here in the experience than to be just consciousness. However, when you're in the experience and you manage to align yourself with consciousness, with who you really are, which is none of the nasty feelings, none of no hate, no anger, just no judgment. All of those things are not us. They're simply not us. That's not who you are. You do not come to this world a fearful, hateful, judgmental person. And you can see it. Kids are not like that, and unless they've already been harmed a lot along the short way that they've done, then they've got nothing like that in them. All right. So there's that, and then I'd like to say a message to my brother if he's watching. You've got a guy in the desert, and he's feeling really bad because he's extremely thirsty, and he says, you say to him, well, what do you want? And the guy says, oh, I really want a glass of water. I want a glass of water. I need it. And you say to him, well, actually, you've got an endless supply of water inside you, but to be able to find it, you're going to need to drink this. And he says, oh, no, that's not for me. No. All right, well, eat these. Oh, no, that's not for me. All right, well, inhale this. Just breathe once. Breathe once. There it is. It's right there. No. So I'm left with incomprehension. It's not really judgment, though, I don't see what positive thing I could possibly say about it. But I'm just left with massive incomprehension as to what goes on in that person's mind. And it is their mind, right? Because if it were anything else, they would just take the fucking thing. But no, there's something in between. And so this is how it works, Brother Guillaume, or anyone else who's watching this. This is how I think it works now. It's taken me a few days to understand this, but I think this makes actual really sense. Your consciousness is here. you're here, and your mind is here in between. Now, sometimes it's like this, and you can sort of kind of see through it. But most of the time, it's just like this, and when you're tempted to peek over, or your consciousness sends you feelings. It doesn't send you thoughts or anything like that. Your consciousness is never going to do that. Your consciousness is just going to send you feelings, right? Because that's what the experience is. It's feelings. It's not thought, right? You're not here to be inundated with thoughts like a car crash of bits flying in every direction. You're here to experience, because that's the only way to know. You cannot know any other way than by experimenting. That's what I've just sort of demonstrated to you, hopefully. And so you're there, and you peek over, and your mind is going, hey, down here, yep, that's it. Yep. Oh, no, down here, over here, yep. And it's like this hamster wheel that's feeding itself, and it's got bits flying off randomly, and they're just catching your attention. You're and one bit might be, I feel sad, and then you go, I feel sad. Do I? Oh yeah, I feel sad. And then you go, oh, I am sad. Because we sort of kind of become our feelings a bit, right? But that's not who you were. You weren't sad before that thought of, oh, I'm feeling sad. You weren't sad, were you? Oh no. And when you arrived here, you certainly weren't fucking sad. So the great thing is that science is apparently confirming these things, and that's fantastic. You know, our modern science, our advanced science in the West is finally catching on to what people have known in their being, in their core, for hundreds of thousands of years, possibly more than that, probably millions of years. And our science is finally catching on to that. Come on. I didn't need a lab to know that. I needed to experience it just like anybody else, right? You don't need a lab to know what life is like. You need to experience life. You know? So if we imagined a situation where we're just consciousness and there's nothing around, but we did have somehow a lab, you could experience it, or you could go into the lab and just try and think what it might be. For me, it makes no sense. Anyway, what science seems to say is that our psychedelic drugs, drugs, I don't know what that means, to be honest. Psychedelics make you more conscious because they slow down the brain activity. And for me, it's pretty obvious. I don't know what you think. It doesn't really matter anyway. But the consciousness does not sit in the brain, right? I don't know where it sits. I don't know if it sits in a specific part, or if it's all of the energy that flows through our body. But consciousness does not sit in the brain. And so when your brain activity slows down, your mind activity is slowing down, and that lets you get in touch with your consciousness, because suddenly it's no longer this thing that's taking up all the space. It's getting smaller, and it's letting you through. And so yeah, there you go. Anybody who's watching this, you want to be happy, yeah. I just don't know what to say if you're not convinced already that this is for you. It's because there's something wrong with your mind, and I'm not saying that in a judgmental way. I'm just saying that your mind is fooling you, and get in touch with your feelings, get in touch with your heart, and it won't fool you anymore. Do what you know you need to do deep down. You know deep down you want to be happy. You know deep down you want to enjoy life. You know deep down that when you came here you weren't like this. You weren't sad. You weren't depressed. You know all of those things are not you. You know that you've been wasting away. Breathe. That's all you need to do. Just breathe it in, man.